showtime! Woo! 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 Silent and profiling. It's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report on the Buffalo Fanbase Network. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the TOP, from the 313. And by my side is my main man, my toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. Happy Monday. Happy Victory Monday.
That's right. Don't forget that Victory Monday. You know, it's been a while since we were able to hit those. I enjoy the Victory Mondays.
I do. And I got something special for you. Did you hear this, by the way? I don't know if you caught this, but it was called on audio. We'll go ahead and play it now for you.
Hottest fucking call I've ever seen, man. Offensive offsides in that moment, man. Fucking terrible.
What, are you gonna cry now? Come on, cry!
I liked the other one that you had last night.
Oh.
Chris Farley.
Oh, the Farley one?
Yes.
Yeah, why not go? So, to the Chiefs fans that are out there whining.
Like next time, loser.
Man, I missed that guy. Chris Farley was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, man, let's get to some of the chat here. Dwight Miami getting hit by the injury bug. Yeah, man, they got so Hill is out. Their center's out. And I know early on Waddle was a little banged up.
Xavier Howard went down.
Oh, yeah, Howard went down. I think that was like more of a bruise for the leg, but I think
he hasn't come back. No, he hasn't.
Oh, no, he hasn't. Oh, okay.
That's
a big loss. Yeah, the center and Hill, and man,
yeah,
three big players.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the only points Miami's got is the defensive touchdown.
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Tua got nimble, man. Tua got nimble. He can make people miss now. What's going on, Beth?
I know.
When did Tua get some moves? Was that his jiu-jitsu this offseason when he learned how to fall? He went to dance class too? I just watched him tiptoe around you guys.
The injuries, Connor, so far is Hill went out with an ankle injury, and I think that's something that's been bothering him, by the way.
He got ragdolled and got caught under him bad too.
Yeah. But I think he's been dealing with some kind of ankle thing though.
Knee. He's been dealing with a knee.
Oh, was it knee? Okay,
for
I thought it was
weeks.
Ankle. And then Waddle got a little banged up, and their center's out. He got rolled up on, and then Xavier Howard with his leg. Hip. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right now, by the way, it's 7-7. Let me see here. Let me see that scoreboard. It is 7-7, 28 seconds left. Tennessee has the ball at Miami's 34. 2nd and 3 on Tennessee's 20. I don't know what happened there. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. That's really strange. I don't know what happened because they were on Miami's side, it said.
What?
Timeout by Tennessee. No, I must have read it wrong. So 2nd and 3 at Tennessee 28 right now. 7-7.
Tennessee has the ball.
Tennessee has the ball. 20.
They just
23
Miami's
seconds.
punted. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll during the course of this podcast, we'll go back and forth on the score, but it's about to go to halftime. Seems like it's going to be 7-7.
Yeah. Miami had the ball, get ready to score, and Tua fumbled the snap. Turnover.
That I saw. Yeah.
And then they got the pick 6 off of that defensively. Defense tackle. They tried to throw a middle screen and he picked it off. Yep.
They tried it twice, by the way. That was terrible.
I don't understand what they're doing. And then they blocked the field goal. Tennessee did. And they've scored a 1-yard rushing touchdown with Henry. Tennessee. So it gives you 7-7. You know, Levis is running around like he's Josh Allen trying to run people over.
I know. Hey, good for him.
Oh, my God. What was he doing? He threw that between 3 guys. And he fit it in. Woohoo! Anyways, we're here to talk some Bills football, Tommy.
Yes, we are. Yep.
almost in field goal range. Hopkins, a big catch. I know that went right between three guys. And
Yeah,
the guy who came in for Xavier Howard just went down. He got crunched when it went between three guys. Oh, Howard's back.
Howard is back. Okay.
Howard is back now.
All right. Yeah, this will be a major upset if the Titans can somehow find a way to win this game. So they're on Miami's 48 with 23 seconds.
It's been weird upsets all weekend long. Well, let's just keep it rolling with the Bills beating the Chiefs. Let's have Miami take a L here. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely, man. That'd be great.
No,
it's still early. It's still early in the game, but I'm surprised they're hanging around.
Yeah, but because he tried to run somebody over, it didn't work for him like it does for Allen when he tried to run the guy over. At the end of the day.
Yeah, but credit the kid, man. Credit the kid, man. You got 4 wins on a season. You're trying to prove yourself. You're a rookie. And that just, I'm not saying it's the smartest thing to do, but he's trying to show his teammates that he's all in. I respect that. He just got to be a little bit more careful. I'm sure his coaches are going to say, I love it, but you know what I mean? let's chill out a little bit on it.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that at all. I'm surprised how that throw he made.
Oh, I'm not. You're watching. I'm not watching. I'm just.
Yeah.
No, I know.
He threw. It's very much a Josh Allen throw. He threw it between 3 guys.
Okay.
I have no idea why he did that. As Trigg says, that's what you call arm arrogance. Right now, they're trying to figure out if Hopkins' knee hit. They stopped the games for the weirdest shit and for forever. For the weirdest things.
Yep. It says first and down, ball on 50, by the way. Because I'm watching ESPN on the there's a website.
It says what?
First and 10 on the 50.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Jason comes in and says, I hate to say it, guys, but I think we'll be getting a safety in the draft. We better be getting a safety in the draft. Whether we decide to keep Poyer or not, we need to start thinking about the replacements for those 2 guys. And Hyde may just hanging up at the end of the year. That's his second, next stinger this season.
Yeah. We're going to get into that right now. Let's get a major super chat by my man, Jack. Cali Blitz, $50, man. Thank you so much. Here's something for the show. Keep up the good work, bro. Man, you are unbelievable, man. I appreciate you. Happy holidays to you as well, man. That goes a long way. So thank you, man. Go Bills. Beth, relax a bit on that, Triggs. You don't know what version of a player when they come back or how long it takes to get them back. By the way, I want to talk about real quick before we get into the game. There was one thing that somebody pointed out. I think it was Cover One pointed it out. Von Miller was not wearing his knee brace in that game. First time this season that he took the knee brace off, and it was actually his best game since he's come back. So that's a positive thing moving forward. And maybe that's why you saw a little bit better Von Miller in that game. So that's a good thing, guys. That's a really good thing.
You saw him get better and better as the game went, and by the end of the game, he was actually starting to turn like he used to.
Yeah, exactly. There was some bad news, so not terrible, but concerning. So Micah Hyde with the stinger seems like it's something that's ongoing with the neck. He's week to week. So he's probably not going to play this coming up week against Dallas. Also, AJ Epinesa is also week to week with the rib injury. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's nothing crazy where maybe they could just put one of those rib protectors on. But it looks like he'll probably miss this week as well against Dallas. And then who's day-to-day? There was somebody else who's day-to-day. Oh, Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid also got injured. He's day-to-day, so hopefully he'll be able to play this Sunday. Day-to-day usually means, questionable for that upcoming game. So hopefully he gets all right. He can get back at practice later this week because we'll need him against Dallas. Other than that, there was no other injuries that I'm aware of. But yeah, Micah Hyde, Mikey, I guess we could go ahead and continue with that. What do the Bills do with him moving forward? Or what does he do? Does he call it a day and just say, hey, I can't do this no more?
This is his last year. Of his
that I know. Yep.
So the idea before he started having these stingers was the possibility to bring him back for one more year, pair him with Jordan Poyer, have their swung together, and then maybe they ride off in the sunset. I don't know if that's really going to be the case now. After these 2 stingers, he may just decide to hang it up. If he wants to continue playing, we don't have a great option right now at free safety. Like someone in here said, what about Rapp at free safety? Rapp's okay. But he's not special by any means.
No, he's not. I like him as a depth guy, guys. But that's where I see Rapp. By the way, the Titans are at the Dolphins 10-yard line.
Yeah, Hopkins just made another big catch.
Yeah, with 10 seconds left. Boy, geez, I really wish we had him on the roster.
Right. That would sure have been nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
A wide receiver that can make a catch and that doesn't need a ton of separation. Whew.
Right.
There'll be safeties available in free agency. There's going to be a ton of safeties available in free agency. It's going to be depends on how much we want to spend on them.
But they seem, I got to say, the market seemed a little low last season. So if it continues that.
Yeah, but Antoine Winfield Jr. is going to be in there. I could see him getting paid like.
But he's also a younger player too, and he's top of the game. But I'm talking about the other safeties, like when Jordan Poyer was a free agent. He was one of the better ones, but he wasn't
30 plus, so he didn't he didn't get a bunch.
Right. There might be a guy out there that still has some fuel in the tank that we could sign until we find one maybe in the draft. Or we have a guy in-house already that they want to DeMar Hamlin, or you got Cam Lewis, or they can mess around with Benford being back there, but I think they like Benford at corner.
Well, depends what they do.
Game's developing, man.
I understand that, but with us having Russell Douglas, and depending on where Trey's at, and if they're going to keep Trey, they may just slide him back and draft another corner, because
you'd have to draft a corner.
We have Alex Austin, who we drafted last year on the practice squad.
We do. Ingram, right?
We have Ingram. So we have backup guys that we can have out there. Who knows what else will be out there, or who else will be in the draft this year. If they plan on going into the season with, Rasul, and then having Trey come back at some point, they may just, re-sign a Dane Jackson for 1 year and move Benford back to safety and put Jackson and Douglas out there until Trey's back. Like, there's so many different things. Alex Austin got signed by the Patriots. Okay. That's fine. There's a million different corners out there that are like that we can.
I'm not stressing that. I'm not stressing that position right now. I don't think it's like dire need, but I think we can find somebody to fill that spot. By the way, Titans Dolphins are at the half. Titans went ahead and got a field goal, so they're up 10-7 in half.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. And guys, by the way, if you're interested in the Packers game, it's 10-7 Green Bay, 13 seconds left till halftime in that game as well. And it was just a field goal actually by Green Bay. That's how they got up 10-7. So let me see here. Let me get to some of your chats real quick. Rob, how good is the safety class? You know what? I have not looked yet, man. That's something we do in the offseason. Mike is very good at the draft and in fact evaluating players. So he'll be able to get more into depth when that time comes.
I can tell you, the safety class is above average. It's kind of top heavy right now. You have Kitchens out of Miami, and you have a couple others. You'll find out more once evaluations start in the offseason. You can break down tape. And Bill's Mafia is lucky because we have so many different content creators who love to dive into tape. You have the cover ones and the hashtags, and the Fanatics and Rumblings and all those different ones, and they all have different skill sets and all do different takes. And then you have Joe Marino, who worked for a draft site, that does Locked On Bills, who is one of the ones that I've learned from through the years of how he evaluates. So you follow that; they'll give you all the information that you need. Tommy and I will go through ours, what we like, what we don't like. Once it hits, but I would say right now it's probably above average, the safety depth this year in the draft. Hoping. I mean, they're all college players, so you don't know exactly who's gonna hit. The pundits say it's an above average. I should put it that way.
Right. Roy, as far as wide receivers, I think this is going to be Gabe's last season with us. I know it is. And we definitely need to draft a receiver in this upcoming draft. We need another playmaker for Josh Allen. It's clear as day. I mean, when we struggle on offense, it's mainly due because nobody else is stepping up. And Diggs is, usually when that happens, Diggs is taken out of the game by the defense, and they know that. If our players aren't stepping up to the plate, other playmakers, then we really have a tough time executing and scoring points, as you saw against the Chiefs. Now, you go back to that 2021 game, and guess who stepped up? Gabe Davis, right? If Gabe Davis doesn't step up in that game, we probably get blown out, right? Gabe Davis was the guy in that game, right? Because Diggs was having a little tough time. They were taking Diggs away. But Davis was the key, right?
Davis was also wide receiver 3 in that game.
No, I get it, but it doesn't matter. I don't care if he's wide receiver fucking 5. I'm just saying, like we had a player step up. I don't care who it was, right? Like that, we need players to step up when in yesterday's game, out of the receivers nobody.
Gabe got open once, and Josh wasn't looking at him.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, to me, it's a separation issue. It seems like Gabe Davis has a tough time with separating lately. I don't know if it's his route running.
I don't think he fits this offense well.
I don't know what I'll be honest. I don't know what happened, because him and Josh previous seasons had
great chemistry.
Great chemistry, great communication. Like, I don't understand why it's fallen off. It just doesn't make sense, and it seems like it's getting worse. So I don't know what to say about that. It just sucks. Like, players like Shorter wasn't available this season. I would have liked to see what he could have done.
I think he's available. The Bills chose to put him on IR,
but that's fine. It's too late now. Like, way too late to even if he was.
No, he's already passed his window and he's locked out.
So I'm just saying, even if he was, I think it would be too late. Then you got players like Andy Isabella that just didn't do anything, and they just put him right back to the practice squad.
I wasn't happy with the Shorter pick. I wanted us to go with a different receiver. You could have went with they could have gone Puka.
Yeah,
they could have gone Trey Palmer, who plays for the Chargers. There was like 4 or 5 sitting there. The one I really wanted was Jaden Reed out of MSU. He went. I think he went in the 3rd though, but he was the guy who I really wanted. He reminds me so much of the way Stephon Diggs came out of college. It's just
I get that, but I would say Justin Shorter has a good upside. Let's just be patient with him. We'll see what happens in the future. We do got a comment by Carl. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Do the wide receivers get open if the offensive line gave Josh more time? It's a great question. You want to answer that?
Probably. I watched a little bit of the All 22 today. There were some openings. The issue that we ran into was the Josh's reads. He was reading one side of the field, and that's where the players weren't open. So there was, early on, it was a lot of just get the backs involved. And then the second half, we stopped getting the backs involved, and we tried to get the receivers going. And give Kansas City a ton of credit. Spagnuolo had, out chess matched our coaches in the second half. He knew what we were trying to do, and he took it away. He has a tendency, and Josh said it in the, in the week leading up that he knows, Spags knows him as well as any defensive coordinator knows him. And he figured out a way to take him away. So every time Josh was looking one way to read the defense, and the guys weren't open, and then the pressure was on him. So if we would have had more time, yes, I think guys get open. Or Josh has more time to go through his progressions to find the open guy. Because I saw Shakir open a little bit, but he was like third or fourth progression. I saw Gabe open, and I think he was on that one, the seam route. He was the third possession. It was Diggs, Kincaid, Gabe. By the time he went Gibbs, Kincaid, there was a guy in his face, and he threw it, so he never got back to Gabe. And Gabe was the one running all by himself.
He went with this. Yeah, he went with his first read, second read. It's because he was like, going back watching that clip, and of course every quarterback's gonna make that mistake from time to time. You're gonna miss players, but if that was the first read, then I think Allen we would have had a clear touchdown there because Davis they blew coverage there basically. They totally blew the coverage. Davis was wide open, but it was too late by that time. And I really think, though, honestly, too, Josh Allen kind of already had his mind made up where he wanted to go throw the ball there. And like I said, I just don't know if there was enough time anyways. But Steve coming in, a true number 2 wide receiver, doesn't get eliminated from the game plan. Brady did that yesterday. Gabe is done. Listen, I still think Gabe's going to have some games where he does show out. He put up some numbers, but he's just not consistent. That's his problem. It's been his problem with this team. And that's why the Bills just going to have to move on, not pay him, and he'll get paid somewhere else.
Let's hit Triggs about Leggett. Says I will forgive Bean if he drafts Leggett, if he's there when we're picking. Leggett is an interesting, evaluation. He has first round ability with third round production, like as the way that everyone talks about him. Right. He has all the measurables, but it just doesn't. And I don't know if it was just the scheme he was in, the quarterback he was with. It's just the production doesn't match to his measurables. I have a feeling when he gets on tape and he gets to the combine, he's in a skyrocket. He's going to go from right now. They have him as early second round pick. It's where everyone's kind of mocking him. Right. I have a feeling he's going to end up in the first. I think he's going to be closer to I truly believe he could even go in front of Keon Coleman. A lot of people are big on Keon Coleman. I'm not. I see a lot of red flags with him when I look at his tape. Who he reminds me of? A faster Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
We'll
see. Like I said, man, there's going to be players that shine as well in the Senior Bowl and all that stuff. So in the combine, how players go up and down in the draft in that. So Jason Cook was phenomenal as a receiving back. He was. So here's it's funny. Somebody could cover one, answer somebody's question on Twitter. Why was Cook out, or why didn't he run a lot in the second half? But and they answered it pretty much how I would. The problem with Cook is he's not good at pass pro. He's very bad at pass protection, and they were getting to us all game long. That's why if Cook was better at pass protection, I think you would see him on the field a lot more. It's just they have to take him out because of that. So that's the only part of his game that I think that really limits him from being a better running back. You know what I mean? So, but he was. I thought he did a good job. I thought they still should have used him more in the second half. It doesn't necessarily mean you totally need to take away his carries. But that was on Joe Brady. I don't know why they went totally away from the running game. You could have still used, Ty Johnson at times better. He didn't really get a lot of carries. I think he only had 2 or 1. Even
after
Murray,
that,
I mean, you'll have him there. He still should get some carries,
After that first drive of the second half, we stopped running the ball altogether.
That's what I mean.
We tried to use, bubble screens to be our running game, and they just didn't work all game long.
Right.
I don't get it either. I don't understand why. Hopefully this is a learning, he can learn from
we're going to get to that. We're going to get to the Joe Brady. I'm going to get to that in a minute with you. So, but let me answer this. Scott Blakely, how does one complain about a penalty called when you know it was a penalty, didn't know the rule. I'm complaining now. They didn't tell us we had 12 men on the field. So you know what's funny? So forget his name. Orlowski talked about right after the game about the Tony offsides. And to be fair, he was offsides all game long. You know, and they didn't call it. And okay, well, they called it that time. And the thing is, this year, Mikey, if you notice, this year they've called 11 of those. Last year, I think it was only 2. So they are starting to actually call those, call them this year.
Yeah,
it's not up to always to the ref. Now I know that they point over the ass sometimes, but listen. You know the rules. You're an NFL player. You know you can't line up like that. You should know where you're at in the field. He was so far offsides, Mikey, when they took a zoom shot of that. He was
almost standing next to Von Miller.
Right. Like that's like, come on now. Like, do you really have to ask the ref at that point? You should know where your guy, where you line up. So I don't agree with that. I also don't agree with how they handled it. I didn't like Mahomes. Now, by the way, he did come out and kind of apologize. It was kind of a half-hearted apology. I got to be real. It was more about the kids. Yeah. I don't like, how I acted because kids watch the game. How about because Josh Allen is supposedly your friend, you act like a dickhead to him? How about being humble and then, doing that in the locker room or after the press conference? But you know what I mean? Like, I could never see Josh doing that. I get your emotions are high, but bro,
how about holding the guy who was offside accountable? Not one person from Kansas City, not one person from Kansas City, said, we need to be better. We need to line up right. It was it was the official's fault for throwing the flag. And then you got into the players on all these networks. Like Shady McCoy agreed with Mahomes. He didn't think he should have had a flag. But then James Jones, who's a wide receiver, is like, no, you're offsides.
Right.
So
by the way, too,
I say, I heard Nick Wright today because I wanted to hear what Nick Wright had to say. And he, was like, it's like speeding. He didn't have any, what did he say? He didn't have, there was no factor in the play, right? Him getting that, so they shouldn't have called it. I'm like, okay.
Doesn't matter.
Based off of the way he explained it by his version, Von Miller should have lined up offsides. Greg Rousseau sacks Patrick Mahomes, he fumbles, and Vaughn recovers it, but they shouldn't call offsides, right? Because Vaughn only recovered the fumble. He didn't create the play.
Right. You can't. Right. Listen, it's a penalty.
He would have a problem if it went that way.
Absolutely. And by the way, we've been called, I think Kincaid was called on that this year. So I remember. And it doesn't matter. There's ticky-tack penalties all the time that I've seen on us where we get a first down. It's like some bullshit penalty. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? So it is what it is. These are the rules. If you don't like it, then I don't tell you. By the way, too, their offensive line was also lined up wrong. I don't know if you saw that, but they also showed how the line was an illegal formation. Yeah, so it's like, dude, you guys are getting away with everything. Stop it.
Juwan Taylor was in the backfield.
Right. It can't be like that. They were saying it was like an arrow. Offensive line. Dude, it's like, but once again, though, listen, we get it. The referee's been terrible this season. No doubt about it. But at the end of the day, every single NFL team at one point has gotten fucked by the refs this year. So stop your whining. You lost the game 20-17. It had nothing to do. Listen, follow the rules. It is what it is. And by the way, who's to say that the Buffalo Bills wouldn't have gone down? I'm just saying, and scored a touchdown, won the game. So
everyone just assumed, although Patrick didn't. Right. Patrick Mahomes said whether we won or lost because he knew Josh had.
No, I'm just
everyone else was like, oh, that lost it for him. There's nothing to say that Josh wouldn't have drove down the field and scored the touchdown. It's not like they haven't done it before.
Jason said Kincaid got it twice, so
yeah, it happens all the time. Here's the thing: how about you tell your guy to line up on sides? You're taught that in Pee Wee football.
Right.
Stop making excuses for professionals.
And they constantly call on the defense. You can't be one-sided. If you're going to call on the defense for being offsides, then you're going to have to call on both sides.
That's what Richard Sherman said when they last night when they were trying to a bunch of receivers were like, well, they could have given him a warning. He's like, listen, the game is slid to the offense for everything. How about the one thing should go for the defensive way? Line up correctly. And the new rule should be, if the play turns out to be cool, you pick up the flag. Like that should be the new.
Can you imagine though, like in the Philly game, if Josh Allen were to run over after the game to Hurts and be like, "That was a fucking fumble. It's fucking bullshit, man."
Right? Right. And the NFL came out and said it was a fumble.
Right.
They fucked us. Well, guess what, Kansas City? Welcome to the rest of the NFL. They just don't have that problem ever. They're usually buttoned up. This year without Eric Bieniemy, who was the bad cop in Kansas City, he's gone now.
Right.
They're a little bit, unbuttoned. They're not as buttoned up as they normally are.
Yeah. And by the way, Tony has been an issue for the longest time since when he played for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he got cut. So he's constantly making mistakes. Stop babying him. Hold him responsible for that. Hold him accountable. And stop pointing at the refs. He was offsides. Over. That's it. They could have called penalties on Casey's right tackle all game. Exactly. He's horrible. By the way,
and they just let it go.
Always.
And they always let it go.
In fact, and by the way, the Chiefs get more calls their way, I feel, than any other team in the NFL. That's just my opinion. Now, of course, I'm sure some Chiefs fans, if they're going to watch this later, are going to call me crazy, but I feel that way. Every Chiefs game, anytime I've ever watched it, have always gotten calls their way. Always.
Well, the Super Bowl last year, they had a ticky-tack pass interference that ended the game.
Right. Oh, big time ticky-tack. But I think it was.
But technically, what he did was a foul. Just like last night. Technically, he lined up offsides.
Right. They're not going to go give him a fucking warning. You know what? Yeah, you're cool, man. Hey, get back.
And it's not like they watched the play and then they threw the flag. They threw the flag. The second ball was snapped.
See, now on live time, I didn't see that right away.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, see, I missed it. But when I went back and watched it last night, you're right. He threw that shit right away.
Soon as the ball was snapped, he threw it.
Yeah, the ref on the sideline saw fucking him way, way across, clear as day, and called it.
Mm-hmm. As a Bills fan,
absolutely. I think
was
so.
A drop. Oh, so do I. But
I don't think he ever had possession.
I also think the Kelsey one was a drop.
Absolutely, it was. How are you going to call that? And I'm shocked the announcer said, "Oh, the one guy he took a football play." No, he didn't. He fucking had he didn't even go anywhere. He got it, and it fucking. He never really clearly had possession. Maybe for a split second, Mikey, and boom, out. But yet, like we talked about against the Eagles, he took nearly 3 steps and fumbled the ball. So I don't, like I said, man, that's why I wasn't even mad when they gave Murray possession. I wasn't even mad then because I'm like, hey, you guys got one earlier on us. So it is what it is. But no, I don't think he called it either.
Yeah, no, you're right, Triggs. The only reason why Tony was taken so high is because they were hoping he would be like Tyreek Hill. That speed. Listen, I think I can't remember who said it, but someone said it today. They're like, a NFL franchise gave up on their first round pick 25 games into his career because he just wasn't disciplined, and they're like, he's not going to learn, and he never learned. So they gave him away for a 3rd round pick. Imagine him going somewhere else, and he's still doing the same thing. And the crazy part about all of it, Kansas City just keeps babying him. And like, okay, it's okay. It's not your fault. It's the ref's fault for calling it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
is it the ref's fault for for the drops too?
Exactly. Yeah, they got a problem there on KC though. They got a big problem at wide receiver, man. They got to figure that out, man, because their teams are now understanding that you put a little pressure on Mahomes and you try to take out Kelsey the best that you can do, which teams are starting to figure out. They don't got help. I mean, Rice is okay, but he's just not consistent enough, and he's young right now. But they just don't have enough weapons, man. So that's why that team's kind of shaky right now on offense, man. I saw something today where they were held under like 20-something points for quite a few games, man.
Yeah, 6 of 12 this year. In the first 86 games of Mahomes' career, they were held under 20 points 6 times.
Yeah,
in the last 12,
that's wild, right?
6
Right.
times. It is.
That's wild. Yeah, that's
Tricks. I don't think they can trade for McLaurin because McLaurin just got paid this year, and I think the dead cap would be too high. However, I could see a Mike Evans, a D Hop if he decides to opt out. You know, one of those guys going there. I do not want to see Mike Evans with Patrick Mahomes. I want no.
I would take Evans in a heartbeat, man.
Me too.
If Bean could somehow pull that off, which I believe he can, he pulled off the Von Miller signing when we supposedly had no money. If you really want to get this help for Josh Allen to stop messing around with the draft so much, you go out and get a proven player like Mike Evans.
I can see us
coming. Yep.
I can see us, going, free agent for our offense and drafting young defensive players.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Defense,
needs to be rebuilt. Let's be honest.
And I'm not going to even hate it because we need. Like normally, I'm like, again, we're concentrating on the defense in the draft, but right now, guys,
if in free agency we go out and get us another receiver, and another a legit wide receiver too, right? Which is really what we're missing. We're returning our 5 starters on the offensive line. We're returning our 2 tight ends. We're returning our alpha wide receiver, and then our slot receiver and Shakir. So we need 3 wide receivers, one wide receiver 2, and then we're gonna need. Then we're returning our starting running back, and we'll need to go get his backups. And chances are Ty Johnson could come back, and I like Ty. I think he's good.
I like him.
So
I do.
I can see us going out and picking up those things in free agency, and then using the draft for rebuilding the defense.
Yeah, and we still got a lot of picks.
We got 10.
Yeah. Well, we got. We do got 10 because we got a draft pick back.
Yep.
In that Green Bay trade, so we still got 10. You're right. So, and who knows what we're gonna do? We're gonna wind up, you know how he does, trading up, trading back, whatever, piling more draft picks. But yeah, I agree with you. I think you go out, you get yourself a quality number 2 wide receiver in the free agency. If Mike Evans, if they could afford him or figure a way, and then you go. I think you really concentrate on the defensive side of the ball in the draft. You get yourself some young guys in here that could tackle. By the way, right? Your defensive line. Who knows if Daquan Jones is going to sign? They haven't said anything. I haven't heard anything.
I did hear that he's starting to do football.
I'm talking about signing. I'm talking about re-signing, because he's in a free agent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't know if he's going to be back.
I bet he'll be back.
You think he'll give us a friendly deal?
I think he'll sign another deal like he did last time. The 2 years, $14 million. It's like $7 million a year. Because that's the same one we just signed last time. I can see us absolutely doing that. Okay. I can also see us possibly bringing back either AJ or Floyd. I think our safeties are gone.
Yeah,
I do. I think Trey's on the chopping block. I don't know if we really will get rid of him, but I think he's a conversation to have in the offseason.
Absolutely.
I think Naeem Hines. I know people are talking about Naeem Hines coming back, but we're not bringing him back at $5 million a year.
No, and they save a lot of money. And honestly, man,
$5 million.
What they do. I wouldn't.
Hardy, they're going to release.
I think Hardy will get released. Yep.
And I think almost $5 million.
I also think Matt Ariza could fill in for the Hines spot. I'll be honest with you. I think they could. If he's already here, you just sign him to a cheapy deal.
For
I think
who?
He'd be cheaper than Hines. Not Matt.
Martin.
Not Matt Ariza. No.
Ty Johnson.
No. The receiver that we called up a little while ago. Remember, a week ago?
Isabella?
We put him back. Isabella. I'm sorry, guys. Andy Isabella. Yeah. I think we could re-sign to a cheapy deal, and he could fill in that spot for Hines. You know what I mean? Like he could be a cheap
for Hines and Hardy. Yep.
Exactly.
Shakir could be our returner too. He's fine.
I said Ariza because I'm looking at Scott's chat. Now listen, I wouldn't even mind giving Matt Ariza an opportunity. Again, I really want it. And I really feel like the Bills owe him that. I'll be honest with you, Mikey, to at least, if he's willing to, who knows if he's even willing to come back to Buffalo. but give him an opportunity in camp
I would
to
love
see if he
that.
could beat out Sam Martin.
I wouldn't even bring back Sam Martin. I'd draft a
That's what I'm
rookie.
saying. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, but why not give Ariza an opportunity? Why not give Ariza that chance at camp? You know what I'm saying? Fine, draft a punter, but I'm just saying, like,
draft one late.
Undrafted, UDF.
Yeah.
Bro,
bring a couple guys in, young guys in, and let them battle for it. Oh, we have 2 super chats, Tommy.
We do, and I'm going to get to them right now. So Carl's first, $5. I appreciate it so much. As Von Miller is on the cusp of being back for the playoffs, he impacted Mahomes in that last sequence. I thought it was a fumble, but it was incomplete.
Pass.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike. You want to answer that?
I believe he's starting to. Yesterday was the first time he played without his brace. And you saw him warming up on the side, doing different drills and stuff when he wasn't on the field. And you saw him throughout the game. He went really wide. And then as the game went, you started to see him get sharper and sharper. And by that last drive, he put his old move on him and got them Mahomes, which was awesome to see. If that's the Vaughn, we're going to start seeing him starting to make those splash plays randomly. Like, listen, he's not going to be the Vaughn he was when he got hurt. Still going to take some time. But if we start seeing him get some of these things and starting to be able to put these pass rush moves together and trusting the knee without the brace, that is fantastic for the playoffs.
Yeah, and the good news with that too is, like we said earlier, I don't know if you were around, but they showed him without the brace in that game. So it was the first time since he's been back without the knee brace on. So that's a positive sign. That's a good sign in the right direction. Let's get to this other super chat. I'm going to get to the rest of your chats as well. RC3, man, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, I've been wondering for a while, do you think there is anyone on our team we could trade and get a first-round pick? Ooh, God,
no.
I don't think so. No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because anybody that has that value on our team, like, do I think there's guys on our team that have values for a first-round pick? Yes. But anybody that has that value, we would want to keep.
Exactly. And if if it really, think about it. You got your Josh Allen, your Stephon Diggs. You got your, I would say,
Matt Milano.
Matt Milano's probably close to a first, I would say, depending on what a team feels like. Ed Oliver's also on that verge of being a first round.
Greg Rousseau is on that verge.
Gregor Rousseau is on the verge. Right. So there is somebody, all of those guys you don't want to get rid of. So
they're all our core players.
Yeah. So besides them, I would say no. By the way, did you see that we signed or we gave a contract to Joe Brady's friend that was a Buffalo Bulls offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Did you see that or no?
He's a senior offensive assistant.
Yeah, and I guess they're good buddies, so that's pretty.
He officiated Joe Brady's wedding. He was also at the Buffalo Bulls football program, so McDermott knew him really well. Because as you know, we do a lot of stuff with Buffalo Bulls. So they brought him in as basically they backfilled the position for Dorsey, and with Shula becoming the de facto quarterbacks coach.
Right.
They took what Shula was doing and they brought this guy in to do kind of what Shula was doing as the offensive assistant.
Yeah. Sophia's right. Kincaid as well. I would say Kincaid is also
Kincaid.
Kincaid. But they're a player they want to get rid of.
I'm puzzled on why they wasted money on Ford if they're not going to utilize.
You're puzzled.
We all are puzzled on that one.
I think he's puzzled on that one. He came out and said it.
Yeah. He's like, this was not what we talked about. You're
right. Yeah. This wasn't in the free agent. When we did our free agent conversation, we definitely didn't talk about me just sitting inactive all season.
Scott said there's something going on with your mic. He says it's kind of echoey. Are you sitting in the closet?
Absolutely not, but I'll fix it. Hold on.
Okay.
Do I sound fine to you or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
Right.
If Scott, listen, I need to make Scott happy. This. Scott's my guy.
We need Scott to be happy so he doesn't go to dark places again.
Yeah, and just start messing. How about now, folks?
I thought you sounded fine before.
What about now? Bad? Good?
Yeah, DJ Mangas is the guy. Yeah. I'm confident Joe Brady will have a great game plan for the Cowboys. I am too. And I hope he takes what he learned, because here's the thing. We're going up against another really good defensive coordinator like Spags and Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is so much like Spags. He likes to send blitzes all over the place, and it gets super creative. And they have a monster on their side as well, and Micah Parsons. So,
by the way, real quick, chat, let me know about my mic or if it's been bad the whole time. Very curious. I'm sticking with that stuff. Yeah, so anyone in the chat, just let me know if I'm good now or if it was bad earlier. Nothing I can do, by the way. If it was bad earlier, I'm fucked. There's no rewinding.
Yeah. Right.
What about Shorter? Bob wants to know. You have any?
He's on IR.
No,
they opened his windows and never brought him back. He basically redshirted this year. I don't know why Jordan Phillips is playing over Ford. Neither do I. Phillips is a liability. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now, Triggs. McDermott loves Phillips. McDermott has his favorites, and he plays his favorites. That's who he is. He always has been.
Hey, Steve says my mic's good. Never any issues on my end. Steve, Scott Blakely, always messing with me. Scott Blakely. Thank you, Carl. That Dallas kicker, 45, 50, 59, 60. Yeah, but we can't trust our kicker from 62, buddy. You know?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you heard it, but Buffalo Plus was talking about it. Andy Reid also passed on a 50-yarder, too. It had something to do with the conditions is the reason why they did that. And, by the way, you said that you were worried about Bass. Bass put him right down the middle both times on his field goals. Did it look funny to you? Because they went right down the middle.
Bro, I've been on the wrong microphone the whole time.
I don't hear a difference.
I was using my camera microphone.
Oh.
Now
I don't hear a difference.
All right, well, now I'm using the correct microphone. Golly, man. I think Mikey messed with me the whole time, guys.
No, I really don't hear a difference.
Well, now you should. Chat, because somebody said, look, Roy says, just not as loud as usual. I apologize, guys.
Maybe that's why it's just not as loud as usual.
Yes,
because you didn't sound any different.
Yeah, it was my camera microphone, and I don't know. Bro, these StreamYard.
You are a little bit louder now.
Yeah, the StreamYard crap sometimes changes the settings. I don't always look. Oh, my God. That's going to bother the hell out of me.
Sucker. Ha, loser.
Thank you, Daniel. Whatever.
That's funny.
God.
The best Chris Farley impression ever. Ha, loser.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, whatever. I'm back to normal, all right? It was only 45 minutes with the wrong microphone.
Yeah, it works. Sounds about like you.
Yeah. Hey, at least I know my camera microphone's not too bad. Right?
I mean, I didn't realize it was your camera one. It actually turned out really good for being your camera mic.
Right. Woo!
Because usually the camera mics are super echoey.
Bro, big time. So, all good. We got that situated. Let's get back to it. Yeah, I do feel like a dumbass. Thank you, Daniel.
I love our chat. Our chat just goes in on us.
Trust me, man. Oh my God, I hate stuff.
It's gonna bother him for days now.
It will. Trust me. I'm gonna go back and watch this. I'm gonna so hate this video that we just did this live. Oh, whatever.
That's funny.
So let's get back to the game. What do you want to do? Your good, bad, and ugly now?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I have some. I didn't go through the whole game.
That's all right. You know. So let's do Mike's famous good, bad, and ugly on Mondays. Here we go.
The good. The bad. The ugly.
All right, we'll start with the good. We'll start on offense. Okay. James Cook. James freaking Cook. He looked like a superstar yesterday. I'm really upset that we didn't use him more in the second half. I understand what they were saying and why they didn't want to use him, but they shouldn't have stopped running the ball.
Right.
So they wouldn't have had to pull him out. I thought it was a mistake. He only ended up with 10 carries. He needs to have 15 to 18 carries a game. We talked about this.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we went away from our game plan in the second half, and it's the reason why we stalled. Because we moved the ball up and down the field, we just always stalled out.
Right.
It was just bad. Josh Allen, I don't think he had a stellar game, but he was good. He had the one bad turnover, and then he missed Gabe Davis on an open one. But outside of that,
Mhm.
Josh Allen, did Josh Allen things. He ran for first downs, moved the chains, made a crazy sideline throw to Latavius Murray. His flat-footed throw to Hardy was awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Hit
Him right. I don't know who else could do that. I mean, that was a beautiful throw.
The two guys that were on the field yesterday.
On the field.
The two quarterbacks that were on the field yesterday are the two guys that make those throws.
You are right. Yeah, that's about it.
Stafford in his heyday could make that throw. Because say what you want, but Stafford in his heyday was one of the best throwers of the football. I don't know if Stafford today could do what they did, but back in his early years, he probably could have. How about the one where he was playing chicken with Bolton, and he did a little sidearm flip out to
that was
Kincaid.
Beautiful. Yeah. That also, like you said, there's only two guys could do that on the field. Mahomes also is known for that.
The two guys that are on the field are the guys that do that stuff.
Beautiful throw, man. Beautiful catch, by the way, too, by Kincaid.
Mm-hmm. So I thought the run game was good. I wish we had seen more Ty Johnson, man. The more he plays, the more I like him. He runs hard and he takes losses and turns them into gains like Devin Singletary used to.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. He's good. He's good out of the backfield. He's good with blitz pickup, because Murray missed 2 blitz pickups yesterday. So even with him being a better pass protector, he still struggled yesterday.
Yeah.
So then we talk about. I thought both Knox and Kincaid were pretty good yesterday as well. Not a bunch of production from him. It was 5 for 21 for Kincaid. It was 3 for 31 or 35 or something like that for Knox. And that's about it from the offensive side of the ball. It was just those guys. On the defense, good. There was so much good on the defense yesterday. It was AJ Epinesa to start the game off with the pick. Sucks he got hurt. Rousseau and Oliver and Floyd and even Miller at the end of the game were really good. So I enjoyed that. Our secondary, Douglas is still a stud. Like, they didn't even try him a lot yesterday.
Right.
He looked
really good. Yeah. That was, by the way, that was a good bounce back game, because I thought in Philadelphia, the Eagles game, he struggled a little bit. He didn't show up, and I thought he gave up on a few plays, especially the one where he just stood there.
Yeah.
I did not like that, and I'm glad he bounced back. Oh, by the way, Hill is back in the game for the Dolphins.
Is he? Okay.
That's what Lindsay's saying. Okay.
Well, I see him. Well, good luck. I hope you don't hurt yourself more. Because he is their offense. So, him even banged up is gonna hurt their offense a little bit.
Right.
But ultimately, I thought our safeties were they were
Yeah. Right.
They were okay. They weren't anything special. I thought Bernard played really good, but I thought Dotson struggled. I thought Dotson struggled bad. He had one good run fit, and that was when he was being held and he turned around. Backed into the running back. But other than that,
he's exactly who we know who he is. Like,
he's up and down.
I don't care what some of the PFF has him graded. Like, listen, I told somebody today, because somebody commented to me. I did the video. If you haven't saw the video I did today, guys, go check it out. But I did a video and I got a comment about Josh Allen, like, oh, the QBR was blah. And I told him, I said, listen, those stats sometimes are misleading. Stats sometimes are very misleading. You can look at a stat and say, man, the guy had 2 interceptions, and both could be on the receivers. If you don't watch the game, right, and full understand what really happened, you don't understand, then stats sometimes are misleading. And I felt like Josh Allen, though he wasn't perfect or anything, I thought he was.
He also had a bunch of drops yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying Allen's total performance yesterday, though it wasn't his best, I thought he did everything he could to help this team win. Considering the receivers weren't getting open, considering the offensive line was terrible. And what more? Who else could go back there with all of that being said and have a great QBR and no mistakes? And it's just not going to happen, guys. It's not realistic. Be happy we got Josh Allen.
Triggs, I know Stafford was the sidearm king before Patrick Mahomes. I said I don't know if Stafford could do the things that Mahomes and Allen do today at his advanced age, but I could be wrong. Stafford is one of the elite throwers of a football that's ever been in the NFL.
Absolutely. I thought the Lions did him so dirty. Fans were so fans were
I was
too tough
happy
on him.
when the Bills didn't make the Super Bowl that year. I was happy to see Stafford get the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
Happy to see
too.
Aaron Donald as well. I like
Absolutely.
those guys.
That was a slap in the Lions fans' faces for wanting that dude to leave. Carl coming in the good. Bills use this Tyler Dunn hot piece on Sean McDermott as a rallying cry. Can they use it for 8 more games? By the way, I don't know if you saw this, but Sean McDermott did get the game ball from Brandon Beane after the game. Terry Pagula was also in the locker room. So I'm going to tell you right now, Sean McDermott, guys, it don't matter how this rest of the season goes. That told me right there, he ain't going anywhere. And I'm telling you, anytime soon. When you got your owner chilling and your GM in the locker room post-game giving you the game ball, especially after that article came out, still trust me, he's not going anywhere.
Well, not only that, he hasn't lost the locker room. The guys are still playing for him.
And they're still rallying behind him. You heard the guys go, "We got your back, Sean." So you're right. He's
the only way I think he goes is if he loses the locker room, and he hasn't.
I agree with that too. I agree with that as well. But I'm just saying, I just don't feel. I feel like right now, I think he has a support of the owners, and that's the most important thing. If you got your support from your owner, you ain't going anywhere.
Were you surprised to see Terry Pagula there?
I was, and I was. I really was.
He traveled.
I'll be honest with you, I've never seen even Bean. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't even recall Bean being.
Bean goes with him.
Does he? I don't recall. But I don't recall him in the video.
No, he's normally him, and he's in the back.
That's what I'm saying. I've never seen him front face. You know what I mean? Like where
talking.
He's a focal. Yes, I don't know if I've ever seen that. And it's the same with Terry Pagula. I don't know if I've ever seen him. Only
at home games is he ever in the locker room that you see.
Right. I was talking about visitor rad. That's especially regular season. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? It was just super rare. But I think they did that for McDermott, out of support for McDermott. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah. FAKC Chiefs. Great game, brother. Great game, brother.
You know what? I'm glad you're here. I want to know your thoughts. Because, by the way, you've been a really, really, I want to say this, really respectful person on here.
I love his other one.
I'm going to go to it. But I just want to give you credit for that. I just want to, let you know that you've been really respectful. I appreciate you, you supporting the channel, by the way. The Bills are who we thought they are. Oh, damn it. And then I want to see you hit something real quick.
Right?
Yeah, listen, what's your thoughts on the game? What's your thoughts on, I want to know your opinion on just the game real quick, and then your thoughts on the penalty. Just curious what you thought about it.
Yeah, Triggs, that's how we felt about the Eagles. We let them off the hook.
Yeah.
Fans. Yep. DG comes in and says that Bean impacts almost all the Bills game, he believes. Okay, I just don't normally see him in the videos. Or they don't take a prominent role like they did yesterday.
Right. I've never seen them in the locker room, like on camera. You know what I mean? Like if they're there, they're usually in the background. You never really see them. But like I said, I think they did that. That was on purpose. You know what I mean? They want to let everybody know, including probably fans, media, that
they want to let the media know who spent 30 minutes on the pre-games and on every freaking channel bashing McDermott, talking about how they didn't think he was going to make it through the week.
All right. Jeffy coming in. It was a good game. Refs been bad in every game, but it is what it is. Bills won the whole game. I don't know if we won the whole game, but we won the game. That was the most important thing. Yeah. And yes, I agree. Listen, and I telling everybody this. And it's funny because some fans like come and, when we lose the game, they're like, "Oh, you're blaming the refs." We've never, not once on this channel, we've ever blamed the refs. However, we will say, "Hey, the refs been doing shitty. They blew this call, but that's not the reason why we lost the game." But yeah, the refs, I totally agree. They've been bad every single game,
and they're bad for every single team.
Every single team. So I don't think they're like point. they're not like trying to make one team it's one side. Like it is what it is, man. We got hosed, you guys got hosed, and it was a good call though. Like that's at the end of the day though, like
it was a penalty.
Exactly. Now, if it was a bad call, then I would say, you know what? Damn, that's shitty, but it still happens, right? It's the NFL. It is what it is. But that was a good call. There was no other way around it.
Win a Super Bowl before talking out your ass. Laugh out loud. Okay.
Somebody talking.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not talking out my ass, so I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what fan you are of. But we're not talking out of our ass. We're just being real. Refs have been bad this year, so I have no idea what comment. But I'm going to leave you in here for now, but just do it.
Okay, yeah. No. I believe the Bills handled most of the game, but you expect games like that with KC and Buffalo. They're always like that. They're always down to the end. You're not going to see one blow out the other very often. They're just two really good teams battling. And they're always even when I think the biggest blowout was the AFC Championship game when you guys just stuck it to us.
Yep.
Outside of that, like when you guys came to Buffalo, it was still a close game. You guys dominated most of the game. We made it close at the end. And then the 3 regular season ones that we won, they've all been close games. I think one was a 2-score game, and that was in the rain, our very first one that we won.
Yep. I remember that one.
That was one when Tyreek Hill had one go through his hands and Micah Hyde for the pick 6. But other than that, it's what you expect. We have Super Chat.
Yep. And I'm gonna get to this chat after the Super Chat. Okay, I'll get right back to it. Super Chat, man, thank you so much. $20. I really appreciate that. Steve M. Kosh. Miami's struggling versus Tennessee. Gives me more hope that the Fins will lose at least 3 more games and leave the window open for the Bills to take the division. Keep up the great work, guys. I appreciate your analysts every week. Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate that. And yeah, what is the score? We're going to give you guys an update real quick. It's 10-10, 1 minute, 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. Tennessee has the ball at Miami's 36. This is going to come. It's going to be a tight game, guys.
Fumble.
Oh, no, never. As I'm saying that, let's see what Mikey says.
It went to
Tennessee?
No, it went to commercial. I have no idea what happened.
Oh, okay,
I saw the replay.
So real quick, I wanted to follow back up this. Hoping Brady learns more clock management. And from interview today, sounds like he will. So, so I was going to talk to you about that, Mikey, about Joe Brady. So this was, I would say, a big-time learning experience for Joe Brady in a very close game. I think he did mess up there. I also think McDermott's responsible as well for that blunder there with 2 minutes and 10 seconds where you should have ran the ball, had KC call their timeouts. I'm just saying, I get that the one pass that Stephon Diggs was considered would be almost considered
the damn ball,
right? But I still, why not just run it there? Why I don't even like that play. It didn't work all game. Run the ball there. James Cook was actually running the ball decent at that point. No reason not to run the ball. I'm just saying. But also, yes, I think there's a lot of film that he will go and
can I tell you why I think they did what they did? I listened to Sean McDermott
go ahead,
presser today, and he talked about this a little bit, and he said that they were going for the 7, they weren't playing for the 3. I think that is a strict change based off of the article that just came out. He decided fine. So to make a point, they threw the ball rather than run the ball.
Okay, I get that, but I don't buy it for the first play. The screen pass to Diggs is not going for 7. If you're going to go for 7, they were going to go for a deeper out like that. That play would have got you what? A couple yards. Like that's not
earlier. It got us 10 yards. It got us 10 yards.
But most of the night it did not. He was dropping the pass. Some of the wide receiver screen passes were not working. I even text you at one point. They got to stop. Like that shit's getting like team. They're not buying it. You know what I mean? They're right on it. I'm just saying. Like I get going for 7. I'm glad.
I'm just telling you what he said.
Aggressive. No, I know that. I'm just saying for him, like I'm glad that was his mindset, but the first play made no sense. At least for me, run the ball there, force them to either take a timeout or go to the 2-minute warning, then fine. You throw it on 2nd and 3rd if you're trying to be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? But I don't buy into that.
Triggs, he didn't say he did it because of the article. I just have a feeling because he came out and said we were going for 7. That's not a McDermott way of coaching. That's a different mindset.
Waddle got banged up at first quarter. Yeah, I don't know if Waddle's back. I think he is.
Waddle's back. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that shows major insecurity if McDermott did. Yeah, I don't. No, Mikey's just saying like
that was my take.
Yeah,
I think he could have been doing that because when he said that, they were going for 7 and not 3, I'm like, you can go for 7 and be smart by running the ball.
Do you think, by the way, real quick, do you think having Knox back slowed the offense down a tad?
Yes. Because we use 12 personnel like 35% of the time.
Okay. I agree.
I absolutely think that slowed our I'm not a fan of the 12 personnel.
And I agree wholeheartedly. I think when he goes back and looks at this film, which he will, I think he's going to realize that we're just not built that way. And I think he's going to look back and see the Eagles game and the Jets game and understand that we're way better in 11 personnel. I just feel that way.
I love our chat.
Yeah.
They're keeping us up to date on the football.
They are. Did they score a touchdown? Yes, oh, man, it's huge.
I love our chat.
By the way, Giants are up 21-13, and the Packers have been hot lately. Tommy DeVito, baby. So they're up 21-13. Man, yeah, that's crazy. So, yeah, I feel like, listen, you can't take Knox out, obviously. He's still a playmaker. He still can he's still a better option than, obviously, Quentin Morris, and you're paying him $14 million. Though I think he should be used more in blocking, and I really believe that you need to open up the route tree and have Kincaid do what he was doing when Dawson Knox was out, which is going deeper, being more of a playmaker, and not this underneath stuff. It just doesn't. That's not going to move the chains. It's not what we want. If you're going to do underneath stuff, give it to Knox. You know what I mean?
They called it incomplete. Oh, they reviewed it and called it incomplete.
That's blows. Fucking. So it's 3rd and goal now. All right. It's still have an opportunity. Oh, it's 4th and goal now? Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the yeah. Hey, well, you take the lead there. I mean, it is what it is.
Oh, that sucks. Anyways, going back to that, here's my concern, Tommy, about the whole 12 personnel. I think that's what McDermott wants our identity to be, so I don't think he's going to let Joe Burrow.
Oh, don't tell me.
I know, but I'm being honest. I think they've been wanting to go 12 personnel for 3 years. And they finally have 2 tight ends, and I think they want to find a way to make it work. I don't think. Okay. I hate you. I hate you so much.
Sorry. Mikey hates that Josh Allen. Okay, he can't stand it.
I put myself on timeout.
Yeah,
you're lucky I can't remove myself from the thing.
So the field goal is good, by the way. Titans are up 13-10. Tommy DeVito sounds like a member of the full-blooded Italians. I remember them. By the way, that was a great text.
Yep.
Hey. Hey.
Yep.
My God.
That's on my mom's side.
Did we miss any of the chats? Did I miss any of them earlier?
Oh, we probably missed a ton.
Listen, by the way, guys, I apologize.
Can you imagine?
Mike is usually in charge of this, but we're on a different.
Every Monday, you use me as an excuse of why you can't keep up with the chats. Stop that crap.
Well, my pregame, I got to do it too because you're not on. I do the pregame.
You should be used to it. So you should be used to it.
I try, man. It's just I get caught up in talking so much.
What you talk? No.
Yeah. Carl, point differential of teams tied for the second wild card spot at 7-6. Browns 17, Steelers -40, Colts -16, Texans 8, Broncos -22, Bengals, Bills 104. I know.
Do we want to finish? Finish my good, bad, and ugly?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was looking at the chats. Remember, I totally forgot about. What were we on? The bad?
No, we were on the good still.
We're still on the good.
I just got done with the defense.
All right, let's continue with the coaching. You want me to replay it?
No. Coaching. Special teams. Look at special teams. Special teams. I thought Bass was good. He was 4 for 4. Jesus, Tommy. You're a hot mess, brother. You're a hot mess. Tommy was Bass was 4 for 4. I thought Hardy was actually pretty decent on the returns this week. He actually had some type of return. Usually he doesn't.
Yeah, I'm still so hoping for one. Just A
break one.
touchdown. Anything.
Yeah.
Like a really good one.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to bad. Bad. Sam Martin. Sam Martin is bad.
What is going on with him lately?
I don't know. Offensive line, bad.
Oh, huge
pass protection. They were really good in the run. They were good in the run game. They were bad
not bad.
Protection.
Right. McGovern got. I get Jones as a monster, but holy crap, he made McGovern look like.
How did we not give him help?
My God, yeah, dude. Or at least I don't know. I don't even know. Right, give him help or put what's his name in there to see if he could have done better. Oh God, what's his name? The guy from the Rams that we got, Edwards. Yeah, because my God, like he buckled. Did you see him buckle at one point?
Yeah, he struggled.
I mean, his legs buckled, bro. That's Jones was just, bro. Jones was literally just like pushing him back with ease, bro. Like power rushing him every time. He could not hold Jones. By the way, I know you want to give because I'll forget about going to this, but Lenny Fournette, do you think we see him this weekend against the Cowboys?
I hope so. I hope we see him instead of Murray. But nothing tells me that Sean McDermott will play anybody who signs with us.
Right.
He plays his favorites. That's what he does.
All right, go ahead with your ugly, or are you still on your bad?
I'm still on my bads. All right. So we went through the pass protection of the offensive line, the wide receivers.
Oh,
Stephon Diggs as a leading candidate. He was bad yesterday.
Dude, drop passes, just not getting open. Just, you know what it was, though? I got to say, and I told you from the beginning, and he looked sluggish, man. I'm telling you, he looked like he just wasn't in the game. Like I felt like he was just kind of running a little
for that game. I just don't get it.
I get it, but I also
the bye week sluggishness. We always come out with it.
I feel like some players catch it harder than others, man. Yeah. And I feel like Diggs got the bye week struggle, man. So he was
I'm with
sluggish.
you, DG. I don't think we're calling up Fournette either. I wish we would, because I really think Murray could use some downtime. I really do. But I just don't.
Hey, Roy. That's a very nice compliment. I'll admit you guys are the best duo of content creators. Talk about the Bills and keep it fun and lighthearted at the same time. Always, man.
We try.
We want always, and we always try to get you guys involved the most too as well, man.
Like, listen, our stuff is very unstructured. Like, a lot of content creators have their things structured. They just go through it. Right. Me and Tommy's get on here and talk.
We just shoot the shit.
Like, the whole point of us creating this was like, us being at a tailgate. Because Tailgate Talk was our very first show together, remember?
It was. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but we were, at least for me and Mikey, first got linked up, I came up with the idea of Tailgate Talk as a show, and we were on #sports for a season. It was 2022. Was it 2021 or 2022? 2021, I believe. 2021.
Yeah, 2021.
Right. So that was our first time, and we clicked right away. It was meant to be.
Yes.
And then we moved this directly to my channel, which I already had up, and me and Mikey been doing this since. So I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, but Tailgate Talk was built as a show that was just going to be kind of unstructured, like you and your buddies out at the tailgate bullshitting about football.
Exactly.
And we've kind of taken that into all of our shows. It's kind of what the channel has been.
There was
structure to it,
right? No,
but we appreciate the compliment.
Right, there's no notes.
No, I mean it's just us getting on here and letting you guys lead us.
Right.
Just talk football. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
Lenny needs a game for the playoffs. I agree, Bob. I really wish we would get him in.
I hope so. Listen, I think it would be smart to put him in the Dallas game. I do, because that Dallas line, and who cares? Listen. We went with 4 running backs before when we had Tywan Jones. You could do 4 again, and still keep Ty Johnson as a special teamer. I'm just saying, or you, like you said, you don't start Murray. Fine, whatever. But I really believe you need to work that defensive line, soften them up. Cook is not going to soften that defensive line up, bro. You have to have a power back, and I really hope they do bring him up. And if they don't, I still think you need to run Murray there. I think you need to soften that defensive line up a little bit to get Cook going, because that defensive line is no joke over at Dallas. So I'm just throwing that out there, but I do think there's a possibility he could play, because that's the game where you want to, like I said, beat up that defensive line. going forward in that game.
Yeah, Triggs, he is stubborn. The O-line wasn't just bad; they were downright ugly. Horrible game from them. Can't play like that versus the Cowboys. Placing a bet, Parsons getting a sack, almost a guaranteed win. I don't want to say they were ugly because they were good in the run game.
Yeah, I do my best. I do my best.
Because they were good in the run game. They were really bad in the pass protection.
No,
but let's finish up the bad.
No, I'm not, Daniel. I'm not talking about Fournette playing special. I'm saying Taiwan Jones did, but Ty Johnson plays special teams. You can put Ty Johnson as.
You're saying you can dress 4. We did last year, but if you dress 4, you have to deactivate 1 somewhere. So we'll see where that would be.
Exactly.
So to finish the bad, then special teams. Martin was bad. He's he's been bad for most of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to say the second half coaching game plans for both. Although I think McDermott got bailed out at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm not exactly sure how you scheme up against a random throwback, unscripted throwback. So it's hard to beat up McDermott too much on that one.
By the way, that was one thing we didn't talk about, and I did bring it up to you late last night because it hit my mind. But what was so crazy about that play, guys, and what nobody really brought up was I think his name's Frank Wycheck.
Yep.
He passed away Sunday or Saturday night, Sunday, whatever. And obviously, if you guys have been watching the Bills a long time, he was the Music City Miracle. He's the guy that threw the pass to and got the touchdown. And this game, we got it done. But this time, it was called back, unlike the last one against us, Music City Miracle. So it was just a little bit of craziness there. But by the way, dangerous though, because it almost got tipped. I forget who it was. I think it was almost got their hands up. He jumped when he was throwing that ball.
I think it was Benford.
Was it Benford? Okay. I'm just saying.
He came off of Tony to go help tackle. And then when he threw it, he got his hands
he jumped.
Up and
Boy, if that got tipped, that's a disaster. I'm just saying. Now, mind you, that could have got tipped, fumbled. We got it recovered, and it would have still went back, right? Or no, we would have got it.
Yeah,
we would have got it because
we could have declined.
It was on them.
You're
right. We could have declined it. I'm shocked. I'll be honest with you, because that was gutsy, ballsy by him to do that because he didn't have to.
He takes his shots.
No, I get it.
If he's he didn't have to. He took a shot for his girlfriend too. I
don't even know how he knew he was there. To be honest, it was so
saw him out of the corner of his eye.
Corner of his eye. Boy, oh boy, man! But didn't count.
Yep, didn't count. But anyways, so I don't want to beat up too bad on McDermott. He held him to 17. Hard to beat up on a defense that does that. And then the penalties, they kill drives.
Absolutely.
We had a chance to put them away, and the penalties kill drives. Penalties are always killers. I mean, we need to do better. We need to clean it up.
48, by the way, Roy is correct on game day.
Oh, Tyreek just took a big hit. Or not Tyreek, but Tua.
Did he? Wow, Tua finally got...
He took off running, and he didn't get down fast enough. Defensive tackle smashed him.
Didn't do his karate, his MMA roll or whatever.
Nope. He went to slide and got crushed because he didn't get down fast enough.
His jiu-jitsu roll.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
Yep. So, anyways, that's the good, bad, and ugly.
What was the main ugly? I totally missed it. I wasn't paying attention.
Penalties.
Oh, penalties. Oh, so bad. I thought that was a bad.
They killed drives.
Absolutely.
They killed 2 offensive drives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would say clock management. Did you throw that one in there?
Oh, no, I didn't, but that's a good one. Clock management at the end of halves. That's a great one.
You're right. So, clock management, guys. Ugly. Again,
it's been ugly.
Sean McDermott cannot. That's one thing he's just so bad at. I mean, if we're going to list the, you know what? One day, Mikey, what we're going to do, I want to do it. I really do. We're going to do a video, of the good. You know how some people weigh out, okay, here's why we should keep McDermott. Here's not why, right? like weigh all the good, like what he's good at, what he's bad at, right? let's see what outweighs the other, right? Oh man, like I would love to do
slipped
that.
for a sack. Now they have to kick a field goal.
Oh, jiu-jitsu. Well, listen, I mean that's what they've been talking about. Is jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
They've been talking about it all over the place. Oh, Mikey. So is that it for the night, my friend?
Yeah, I don't have anything else. On Friday we'll come up and we'll talk a little bit about this Cowboys game.
We will, guys. So you got just a heads up to anyone that's in the chat. So if you're new to the chat, how we usually do, because I know some of you guys are like, why are they talking Cowboys? What we normally do is Mondays we do like a recap of the Sunday game, and then Fridays we do the preview of that weekend's game. So we get into the preview like on every Friday. So Friday Night Lights is when me and Mikey will return. That's at 8:30, and we'll be talking Bills Cowboys. So look forward to hit the notification bell, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Tomorrow is Nuclear Heatwave Wrestling Podcast at 7:30. Wednesday I'll probably be dropping a few new videos. Thursday is Mafia Means Family Podcast at 7:30. And then Friday, obviously, we will return at 8:30. Saturday at 2 p.m. is Fantasy Kingdom. And then Saturday at 6 is AFC East Shakedown. And then that's it. We do the
on your way out, hit that like for Victory Monday.
Absolutely. Smash the like for Victory Monday. Guys, Bills Mafia, we love you. As always, we appreciate you, everything you've done for us as far as just, showing your support and love for this channel. So Bills Mafia, once again, we love you. We're out of here.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. Peace.